Hey, what's up, fam? It is 11 o'clock actually noon Eastern time, 11 o'clock in Birmingham, Alabama. Hey, welcome to our Grow Stack Drive weekday Instagram live at noon Eastern time. Want to welcome you guys. Dude, you guys are in for a treat today. Kody Richardson, what's up, my friend? You guys are in for a treat. We've got none other than Kristen Gomez. What's up, Rach? How you doing, girl? We've got none other than Miss Elena Cardone, the one that makes the magic happen down in Miami, Florida. Hey, babe, good to see you. That makes the magic happen in Miami, Florida, down at 10X headquarters. Super excited. Sam, how are you doing? I'm super excited to have Miss Elena on today and ask some questions just about what's going on down at 10X headquarters, family, and those kind of things. As always, guys, thank you for joining us for our weekday Instagram Live. Listen, we started this entire process just to add value to you in this season of uncertainty. We've had some phenomenal guests on. Kristen Gomez, what's up, buddy? We've had some phenomenal guests on. Hey, Sin, good to see you. If you would, as we always ask, if you would go down to that little paper airplane, little logo thing right there. If you'll share this with your family and friends, let them know that we're here adding value. We had a phenomenal time yesterday with JD Frost, CPA in Chattanooga, Tennessee. JD is also part of the 10X community. He's been on live with Grant in the past and added a tremendous amount of value yesterday to our community, talking about SBA loans and the payroll protection plan and all those kind of things. So listen, today, guys, again, we're waiting on Elena to hop in the room. There she is right there. I'm going to add her in the room, and we are going to have a blast today. Let me add it in here. Well, good morning. Hey, I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm great.
Are you keeping the household going good down there?
Oh, you know it. Here, I'm just going to stick this there.
Okay. Good. You're good. Hey, guys, listen, we've got the one and only Elena Cardone with us today. Again, if you would, that little paper airplane emoji at the bottom of the screen, share that with your family and friends and let them know what we're doing today as we're just continuing to add value in an unbelievable time of uncertainty. Elena, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me on today.
I just wanted to start off, number one. I know you and I have not connected. Your husband and I have connected several times. I got connected with you guys back at boot camp in October. Business has went insane, grown about 600%, became a Cardone licensee. It's been an unbelievable ride. And before we get started today, I've got a couple questions that I want to talk to you about. I just wanted to say thank you, number one. I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of myself, all the people that are in the mentorship program, all the people that I coach, that are in my online. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to you for everything, especially over the past 5 or 6 weeks, everything that you guys have endured, all the criticism, some of the things that have happened. I just want to say thank you. There are thousands and thousands of people that owe a great debt of gratitude to you and to your husband. And I just want to start today by saying thank you for that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that acknowledgement. Thank you.
Yeah, so listen, so let's talk. There's a couple things I want to talk about. We've been adding value, talking about this time of uncertainty. And I'd love for you to start just with our audience today. Like, talk to me about being a mom and leading your family through this time of uncertainty. What's that look like for you?
Well, being a mom to me is the most important job or role on the planet. Actually being a parent, but especially a mom. And so I take that job very seriously. What it looks like for me right now is, just having to readjust and change things. I'm working out of home right now. The kids are home. So, I just have to understand that things are going to take me a little bit longer to do right now. If I want to write on my book, but I need to go make the kids breakfast, or, one of them wants me to watch a show with them or wants a little extra attention. They don't understand that, in normal circumstances, I would not be available. and you would not notice this, but when I'm home, they want my attention. So, you know, not every time, but most of the time, I'm trying to just put what I need to put on hold because because I want to facilitate in the household that we're a team. We can come out of this even stronger on the other side. We can be more fortified. We can be bonded. I'm doing a good enough job letting them know what is going on without exposing too many adult problems on them.
Right.
There's no news that I let them be privy to. That all stopped in the very beginning. We're holding family meetings so I can understand what they're experiencing and what they're going through and how I can adjust and help them as well. And I've had to be creative as a mom and come up with projects to put them on, even if they're, you know, silly or ridiculous, but it makes them have a purpose and a game and feel like they're participating.
Yeah.
So my 8-year-old has you know, for example, one of her jobs is she has to wipe down all the handles in the house, and so she feels like she's being a part of taking her responsibility and handling the corona thing by keeping them safe, whether that's ridiculous or not. It gives her a purpose, and she can feel on top of things and in control rather than just feel an effect of not having access to any of her friends anymore. And I'm limiting their iPad and cell phone usage. You know, it's and I really took the phone away from Sabrina months ago, but after the family meeting, I realized, you know, she really, you know, she's 10, she's really suffering not being able to have access to her friends. So having not had that meeting and really taking her feelings into consideration, now I'm like, yeah, you can have the phone during this time. You can be in the next room over and communicate with your friends. And then I've come up with other things like entertainment hour. So at night we're doing entertainment hour, and it's just fun. It's actually brought us closer in that regards as a family.
As a family, talk to us a little bit. I love the idea about the family meeting. That's one of the things we do in my household too. I'm married. I've got 4 daughters, 24, 21 now the other day, 16 and 11. And so like with the 11-year-old and the 16-year-old still being in school, it is kind of watching how much communication they're doing on their electronics. Like we do family dinner, like electronics are off, TV's off. It is time for us to spend time as a family. Talk to me about some of the other things you guys have done in those family meetings that would be transferable to some of the people watching today.
Well, the family meetings are writing the to-do list and assigning roles and who's willing in the team in the family, who's willing to take what job. And sometimes I just have to make up jobs for them to do because I need them active. So, you know, like I said, who's going to be responsible for, I mean, I'm spitballing here. Who's going to be responsible to make sure that Papa is having enough water a day? And then Sabrina takes that role, and then she makes sure, and then she kind of gets to be what I call the product officer. Like, they want to ensure that they get their product. So Sabrina, did you get your product? Did Papa drink his gallon of water throughout the day? Then you, not him. You know, so that's what our family meetings look like. They look like who's going to be responsible for what. The purpose of the meeting, we're Team Cardone. What do? We're trying to help people. We're this, we're that. How can you contribute? The girls are now doing their own YouTube channels. They're coming up with more 10X kids. They shoot these, you know, nonsensical, but you know, but it's training them to contribute, and they're doing 10X kids in the studio by themselves. We own the building. No one else is in there. I don't get the backlash for everything I do, but we Hey,
listen, there's no backlash for you here today, girl. None, zero, none whatsoever.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, one of the things that I love about you guys, and I've loved this about Grant, we had a kind of a impromptu meeting in the hallway at boot camp back in October. Myself, Richie, Dr. Alla, who's a licensee, another licensee, because I had walked outside to ask questions about the licensee program and those things, and your husband walked up, and we spent several minutes together. He just looked at me, he goes, Ken, tell me your story. Why are you here? And so I was just, for 4 or 5 minutes, we're just sharing. Literally, it was so long. When he walked away, Richie walked up to me. Now, I spent 25 years, half of that in full-time ministry, and he calls me preacher. That's what he always calls me. And then half of that in real estate, mortgage broker, and now on the real estate side. But was just the openness, the behind the curtain look that I got from your husband. We've had several conversations like that. And even with you, as public as you are, I love, and I think this is why people who get that kind of what I would call the behind the curtain look for you guys, they see that it's not all the rah-rah stuff that you may see on social media. But dude, you guys really have a heart to help people. You really have a heart. Like when your daughter got up on stage at Growthcon, freaking crushed it, by the way. But to watch her dad get up, it wasn't Grant Cardone, it wasn't Elena Cardone, but to watch mom and dad get up there and literally gush over and I'm looking at you guys and I'm like, dude, what a proud mom. Like what a freaking awesome moment as a dad. Talk to me about and how you both have led, because obviously Grant could not do what he could do if it weren't for you. Talk to me about how you guys literally have led in this season, like with your heart out front for people to be able to see what you're walking through and going through.
Well, you know, this is just the cold, hard facts of everything. And, but the truth is we don't need to do any of this. Like if we did not have a heart and we were not die hard on our mission, which is to help people. I want to help couples. He wants to help financial illiterate, like solve the financial illiteracy on the planet. Like if we did not have those goals and those dreams, I would not allow us to expose ourselves in the way that we do and to be set up for so much criticism and analyzing every single thing that we do. The fact of the matter is that we are financially free. You know, during this time, yes, we took a little hit, but in the long term, we're so set up for the next thing, my haters are going to hate, because we are going to come out so powerful and so strong. We're going to have a multi-billion-dollar empire on the other side of this, that yes. I will have made everything that we've done look like child's play. I know that makes the haters just stark raving mad. But if we did not have the heart and the truth of that, like I wouldn't do what we are doing, because I would have Grant 1,000,000% on the real estate and working on multi-$100 million deals, competing with Blackstone. And I would have him doing nothing else, because that is where we create our wealth. We don't create our wealth on a $10 10X mask that I have to hear how we're taking advantage of people and the backlash of that. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
But when you do have the mission and the heart to help people, like to really help people, I'm also not going to get sidetracked by all the vicious barking dogs that actually want me to stop doing what I'm doing, because then if I do that, we won't have helped a lot of people, and they will have won that, you know, we get suppressed and stopped. And so I continue to do what we're doing no matter what, because I refuse to let a couple of jerks win in this game of making a difference for the better.
Well, let me tell you about a moment I had with your husband. I came down to the licensee accreditation and spoke for Richie and Grant the last day of the licensee accreditation. I shared 3 characteristics of a passionate leader to all the licensees that had gathered that day. I walked out the front door and your husband was sitting in his G-Wagon, and he called. This is when he filmed me. He called me over there and he was already had his camera ready to film me, right? And we're talking and we're having a conversation. And again, he calls me preacher all the time. And we're talking, and he hands me one of the I thought it was a matchbook cover, and it was the Protect Yourself. It was one of the little condom things he had in there. And he just laughed. He goes, "I know you're a preacher, but that's funny." And I was like, "Dude, that's hilarious, dude." And we're talking one-on-one. And I watched your husband, and people don't get behind. I just watched him kind of slump in the seat. He says, "Ken, I've been gone like 8 or 9 days. And I come back and 3 or 4 employees have already left." He goes, "Dude, it just sucks." And I said, "Grant, you know I've been in ministry for 12 years. Like, we serve people, we love families, and you look up one Sunday and they're gone. We deal with broken people. Anytime you do what you guys do and you lay your heart out on the line for people, people are, number one, they're going to take advantage of it. And number two, they're not going to know how to deal with it. And I just said, listen, we have to keep moving forward. Like what you're doing, you're making, Elena, you guys are making an unbelievable impact in people's lives. You just have to continue to move forward. And you have to know that, you know what? We're dealing with broken humanity, and sometimes it sucks. But the cause in what I'm doing in my life, in the hundreds and hundreds of people that are on here today, in watching your 10-year-old daughter get up in Growthcon and do what she did, and then knowing that she wrote all of that herself, you guys are making a tremendous difference. And again, Grant had me on his Instagram Live Saturday for about 6 or 7 minutes. I literally was writing my goals down and watching Cardone and you when he pulled me in. And I just said, and when I got done sharing, Grant says, what should people do? Grant goes, hey, by the way, I said, I don't work for him. And he goes, this guy don't work for me. Like, I'm not getting paid. There are people out there that you guys are making a significant impact in their lives. Mine being one, and everything in all of my businesses. So again, I want to say thanks. And I do want to say thank you again for everybody, for you guys leading with your heart, because when you get close and behind the curtain, like I say, you see just the authentic voice and the authentic heart that you guys have. And so I just, again, wanted to say thank you for that. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was that I always see and I find intriguing in your story is when you guys talk about moving from California to Florida and you giving up on your dream of being an actress in that career, because it's very similar to what people are experiencing right now. Talk to me about what did that look like, going, okay, there's something better here, so I'm going to walk away from this for the betterment of my family and for this bigger dream. Talk to me a little bit about that.
That was a very terrifying moment in my life, to be honest with you, because I moved out of my house at 17 years old. I moved to Los Angeles. I knew no one when I moved there. I was taught to be an independent woman and never to depend on a man. And it was ingrained in my system. And I was living in the Hollywood world. And so, I mean, I was terrified to make that move. It was 2008 during the last economic collapse.
Right.
And I was pregnant with our first child. And I wasn't going to be getting any acting jobs being pregnant. and I knew that, you know, I had my little savings, but I mean, my little savings could take care of me, not us and a family. And so I just really had to get real and honest and straight about it. It was terrifying, but I had a vision. I've been a visionary my whole life. And all a vision is a plan for the future based on wisdom and imagination. And I ran out every scenario, and I thought, if I support my husband, every single woman on the planet is going to disown me. And I had to take that into consideration, that I was going to be called a sellout, a gold digger, that I gave up on my dreams, a failure, whatnot. And I went through every scenario like that, and I said, okay, all right, so what's the harm in that? I'm humiliated a little. I get kicked out of the women's club. Right. And then I said, no, you know, my family and my unborn child and my husband, you know, that matters to me. I made a commitment to us. And so I had a vision, and that was my first entrepreneurial moment, because I was willing to push in all my chips on a guy. And it was a risk, and that's what entrepreneurs do. I had always considered I was an artist before then. And so I was brave enough and had the courage to face my fear and that challenge. And fortunately for me, but back then I did not know the outcome of that. We were on the verge of losing everything back then. Right. But fortunately for me, I married a man that has high integrity, and he is ethical, and he is an incredible husband and father. And, you know, he's not perfect, and he does not do the things that in the ways that I would do it. I'm much softer. Right. But it worked out for me, and my vision became a reality, and we're living it today. So, I mean, it was. So what would you say, Elena, what would you say to some of the ladies, and some, not just ladies, but some of the people that are on here today that see a vision for the future,
what would you say to them today, especially in this time of uncertainty with the whole coronavirus thing going on? What would you say to them today?
You have to have your vision. A vision is a plan. It's a plan for the future with wisdom and imagination. I did not make that up. I memorized that straight out of the dictionary. And, to all the women out there, you are extraordinarily powerful. And again, I'm going to quote another definition. The definition of power is the capacity or the ability to influence the behavior of others. And that's all that power is. It doesn't say you have to reach a certain status, or you have to run a company, or you have to have a certain amount of wealth to possess power. Power is the ability or the capacity to influence the behavior of others. So women out there are incredibly powerful beings that, when correctly owning and taking responsibility for that power, can create huge impacts on the world, all the way down from, and should not be discounted by, even being able to put a smile on your child's face. That is power.
Yeah, I love that.
Being able to walk next to someone on the side of the street and smile and have them smile back. You influenced the behavior of others.
Right.
You have power. And to whatever level you want to take that to, that's up to your vision and your plan. So do not lose the vision, and do not get distracted by the noise or the no's or anyone that wants to discredit your reputation or invalidate you. You are power. You possess power, and hold steadfast to your vision and make a commitment to yourself to want to make a difference for the better in this world.
Now, Grant calls me preacher, but you're probably a far better preacher than I am, girl. That's pretty good right there. You're probably a far better preacher than I am. I might have to tell him next time we talk. Like, man, hey, your wife can preach better than I can. Hey, talk to me real quick. Obviously, this Growthcon this year was phenomenal. It's my first one. Obviously, I just got connected with you guys probably 5 or 6 months ago. Was phenomenal. Talk to me about, like, we've talked about what it was like to leave that dream behind. And I love two things you said. I love what you said about how I already started looking at what would or what could the obstacles be. I wrote down, you counted the cost. Like, you counted the cost before you went after that vision. But now literally you're seeing that vision come to fruition in a big way. What's it like standing up on the stage or being at 10X Ladies? And you do this, we're like, I would guarantee you there's going to be several hundred people, probably a few thousand that watch this today. Majority of them are going to be ladies that are like, yes. What's that like, standing there watching, knowing that back here I paid the price, back here I counted the cost, and today I'm here. How fulfilling is that for you as a woman to see what you've done because of the cost that you paid?
It is really rewarding. And, but what's even more rewarding than that is that I have had the ability and the success to change the trajectory of someone else's life based on something that I have said, or I have inspired them, or some material that they studied of mine. And to me, there is no greater payment in the world. Yes, we live on an economic planet, and you do need to monetize. And I love that. Those are rewards. My plane is a reward for all of the right things that we have done, for all of the sacrifices, for all of the things that people can't quantify, like how many people and situations that we have avoided that can never get looped into the stack. So those are rewards, and I will never take anything away from that. It also gets me on the communication lines of the world and puts me in front of even more people. But the real reward for me and for us, I know I can speak for Grant on this, is to have that as our legacy. That, like, I made something of my life. This little girl from New Orleans, Louisiana, who never went to college, who had, never really thought of herself as smart, intelligent, and I'm not book smart. But I am self-educated, and I have worked really hard. And that is that's what I live for. That's my reward, seeing the success of others. And it feels really good. On the other hand, what feels really bad is that I'm very hard on myself and I'm not doing nearly enough and I'm not nearly reaching as many people as my potential. So I'm working very hard every single day to do more.
No great leader is ever satisfied with where they are. No great leader is ever satisfied with where they are. There's always, especially I say this a lot in when I teach on leadership, is the higher, the bigger the platform you have. It's like the larger the rock that you throw in the water, and the ripple effect keeps going farther and farther and farther. But no great leader is ever satisfied, especially with, and this is what I love about you and your husband that maybe people don't get to see, is, again, I'll go back to the behind the curtain scene, is just how you guys really lead with your heart. When I watched Grant's video on YouTube, when he had to let those people go, I had Jared on Instagram Live the next Monday. Dude, there was so much empathy for me for him, because I saw how you guys wore that, the heaviness of, I can't even imagine. I've never had a business at that scale, but I can't imagine and you can see it in him and even in you from time to time, the heaviness and understanding the weight of when you make a decision, that ripple effect goes out, positive and even during these times have been negative. But no leader is ever satisfied with where they are. So what does the future look like? Like, tell me what the vision of Elena Cardone is in the next year to 5 years. What does that look like?
Well, it's big.
I can imagine that, girl.
The vision is, like, if we're just talking about me, well, I'm working on the whole 10X ladies thing. I'm working on, what I envision for the future is to have the Women's International Congress, which will be like a 10X Growthcon, but it will be called the Women's International Congress or something very similar. International Women's Congress, Women's International Congress, whatever, you get the idea. It will be an annual event. I want this thing to be so big, an international event where women from around the world can have a forum and a platform and a congress to come together and meet with other like-minded women and really figure out strategies and hear from international women of the world, and so that they can leave that event not only just rah-rah inspired, but actually blueprints and plans and marching orders, how to go back home and then really make a difference for the better and change lives and make their relationships and the families better. And how can I work in coordination to reach heightened success with my partners, like not just the spouse, but like, you know, how do we really use what we have to nurture, to heal this planet that is experiencing a sickness? So, and then under that conference, how do I expose all of these women who might not come across Grant Cardone or his phenomenal body of work that changes the bottom line for families across the world because of who Grant is. So I want to expose these women to Cardone Capital, to the Cardone licensee, to the Cardone Ventures, to the marketing, to Cardone Capital, an opportunity to invest with us. I want to bring all these faceted, powerful women into the umbrella of however they're going to see it, but not only just with my brand Cardone, but other powerful women in influence. So that's where I see it going. Just for me personally, I'm writing a men's book. I'm writing a women's book right now. So yes, I want to be on more platforms globally, speaking to more groups and really exposing myself to more women. I just have a connection with women more than ever. It's not what I started out as. I started out as tomboy. I've hung out with males my whole entire life. My dad was like my best friend. Like, I was daddy's girl. I shoot, I compete in 3-gun. I squad with guys. I train martial arts, which is ridiculous. I was never a good mechanic, but I trained and worked on 60s muscles cars. So I understand men, and I never really thought I understood women. But the older that I've become, I now understand women in a way that I have never understood before. And now I have just a burning desire to have us unite and really figure out what we can do to contribute to a better planet. And so I'm looking for those women, and that's where I want to go.
Girl,
And
I love it. I
of
absolutely.
course, you know, with Grant, of course, I got to keep those balls work, you know, juggling,
Right.
supporting everything. Cardone Capital is going to be a very big focus of mine going forward.
Yeah, I love it. Dude, I love your fire. I'm going to tell your husband next time he pulls me in on one of you. Actually, he's going to be on my live in about a week or so. And I'm going to tell him this. Don't ever call me preacher again, and you don't call your wife preacher, because she's got it better than I do. Girl, you can take a stage and rock it with a microphone with the best of them. So listen, guys, I want to, Elena, thank you again so much. I know we're at our time. I just want to say a huge thank you from on my behalf, on the behalf of, dude, all the ladies that are literally blowing the chat up this morning, for everything that you do, who you are, what you stand for, the transparency that you and your husband lead in. Like I said, I've been in ministry for a long time. I have a pretty good discernment of who people are and how they carry themselves. And that was the number one thing that drew me to your husband in October. And then the few conversations that I've had the opportunity to have with him one-on-one. And then now our time together, Dave. I want to say thank you for leading with your heart. I want to say thank you for being transparent. There are always going to be people who take advantage of the transparency. But the exponential number of the people who will be transformed by your transparency is always going to be exponentially larger than the people who are going to take advantage of it.
That's
and
right.
So,
it's only a handful. It's only a handful
Yeah.
of the really ones that have really no products of their own. So it becomes, they feel good about themselves if they can take somebody else down because they have no organic
Right.
product to offer the world. So
Right.
I understand that, but it
People-
always feels good hearing it.
People that aren't making a difference always are going after people that do make a difference, because when we get around people, and one of the things I said even on my coaching call last night is, we've got to get in rooms with people who think bigger than we do. That's one of the things getting around. That was one thing I told Grant in October in the hallway we talked. I said, dude, I need the lid to be blown off of my mind of what's a lot of money, so I can help people be able to financially gain some freedom. Like that's one of the major goals for me, for my real estate team, is that. But when you get into an arena where you're literally seeing people who are coming at you for what you're doing, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're not doing, and it reveals in them what they want to do, but weren't willing to pay the price to do. And you've paid a tremendous price, and for that, there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that owe you a great debt of gratitude.
Aww.
So, girl, I am extremely honored to be able to have you today on our Instagram live. Guys, listen, again, if you'll share this with your family and friends, listen, if you know a lady, if you know a woman that is an entrepreneur that wants to do business, that literally may even not even know that she's capable of that, then share this today with them. Elena, go ahead, sweetheart.
Oh, I was just going to say, and Raquel, who's my rock, she's my executive assistant. I love her.
Yes.
She pinned that I do have a free Zoom call every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's specifically to unite the women that have this as an interest and a goal, and how we can navigate through these times. And she penned it. It's 10xladies.com/network.
Yep.
If anyone wants to sign up, then you'll get the Zoom call and you'll be linked in with the rest of us awesome women.
Come on, girl. Hey, listen, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Love your daughter's haircut. Love how you guys revealed it to Grant the other day. I thought that was hilarious. And again, thank you for leading with humility, and thank you for leading with heart. We are extremely grateful, and that always reaches more people than some of the other methods that we go after people with. Thank you. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate you. Have a blessed day. Guys, thank you for being with us today. Join us tomorrow at noon Eastern time. We've got Kristen Hutchison. If you've not heard of Kristen is a girl that actually got on Gary Vee's show last week. And literally, while Gary Vee had her online, literally blew her account up from a few hundred people to well over 10,000. Gary and his team helped her start her own Instagram Live every weekday at 7 p.m., which has been absolutely phenomenal. So I've got Kristen Hutchinson going to be on with me tomorrow. Again, share this link. Let people know about Elena and what she's doing. And thank you so much for being a part of today. Have a blessed day.